another lit video, another lit live content. More live content coming for you. Alright, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Okay, I appreciate y'all coming in. Please come in and sit down. Let's get to it, man. We got a good live where a woman she is caught cheating. Oh no, the woman ain't caught cheating. She caught her husband cheating with her cousin. Can you believe it? The nerve of some family members. Okay, so we gonna get into it. I know y'all seen this lady going viral not long ago, because of her cheating ass husband. Okay, the cheating ass husband. She she went viral about the nerve. She went viral about the nerve about a month ago. She went viral about a month ago because she was crying on live. Okay, so thank you to everybody who pulls up, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Please hit the like button. Of course, if y'all seeing this horizontally, good deal. If y'all seeing it vertically, then good deal, because we got it both ways. There's two different lives. You can watch it horizontal on YouTube or vertical on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook, and you can watch me on Twitch. Okay? So, please, thank you, Mod Joker TV. Y'all shout out Joker TV. She's wonderful. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to all the everyday people. So I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. Now that y'all know where y'all can find me at, let's get into it.
There's things that
I blame you because you're a part of me. I blame you because you live in here. I blame you because you've gone through all kind of shit, and we've shared so many things. And for you to be doing this to me, who has never done anything like this to you, who would never, ever do anything like this to you. Ever. Anybody. I don't do this kind of stuff. I thought you loved me. I thought you cared about me. I thought you wanted the best for me. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? Why do I deserve this from you?
You don't. You don't.
So then why?
Oh, she
Why?
talking to her cousin on the phone. Her cousin that she got caught cheating with her husband.
Why is this me? Why am I here? Why am I here having this conversation with you? I blame you because you're a part of me. I blame you because you live in here. I blame you because you've gone through all kinds of shit, and we've shared so many things. And for you to be doing this,
I messed up. This is replaying, so anybody who just tuned in can see what we about to get into. We about to get into this story time where a woman caught her husband cheating with her cousin.
I blame you because you're a part of me. I blame you because you live in here. I blame you because you've gone through all kind of shit, and we've shared so many things. And for you to be doing this to me, who has never done anything like this to you, who would never, ever do anything like this to you. Ever. Anybody. I don't do this kind of stuff. I thought you loved me. I thought you cared about me. I thought you wanted the best for me. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? Why do I deserve this from you?
You don't. You don't.
So then why? Why? Why me? Why is this me? Why am I here? Why am I here having this conversation with you? I blame you because you're...
So she was not talking to God. She was actually talking to her cousin on the phone. If you could hear, she was like, you know, why you... And then if you...
live in here.
If you see this picture, y'all remember this from that movie where this was a girl who was sleeping with the her cousin's husband. That's why this picture's there. Okay, so let's get into the actual video or the story time.
Can we want to hear the? I believe you. The first red flag is. Let me take a drink of my Celsius real quick because. Cheers. Okay, so thanks. I don't know where to start. I'm just going to start. I mostly want to share because it's not my secret to keep, and I just want to set myself free from all of this. It's been a lot, but it's my real life, and I've started my platform with sharing my life from starting my small business and quitting my corporate job. I share a day in my life every single day, and I've been unable to share because of what I've been going through. I want to say I have my girlfriend on the phone and she doesn't know this story at all. Like, we just, lost contact, for no reason at all. It's just, space, life. I'll allow her to ask whatever question she has to ask because I feel like whatever question she has, everybody has, right? So just to help me out, because I tried to record this video on my own and I just keep getting sidetracked. I get emotional and all of that. So I just want to make it, as down to earth and as calm and as cool as possible, but still share my story.
How long have you been around you because I've known y'all for, I've known y'all for a long time.
Okay, when did you move from Texas? That makes sense. So in 2019, 2020, around COVID, that's when we started talking again. My grandma got in a car accident. She lived in Augusta. My cousin lived in Idaho at this point. I lived here in Texas. I was here. She called and said, hey, grandma got in a car accident. This is going on. It was a real bad car accident. My grandma, the car flipped over. And she was in Augusta all by herself. So we started talking around that. We lost contact. She went to the military. She got married. Everybody's lives were different. But when my grandma got in a car accident, it got us closer together. She was venting like how nobody cares and she has to stand up and take care of, grandma. But I'm like, at the same time, she raised you. She reached out and we started a group chat from there. My sister Dom, myself, her, cousin Faith, and another cousin that lived in the same house with cousin Faith. Let's call her Fiona for short, okay? 4 people in this group chat. It's called Grandma's Girls. That's the name of our group chat. Myself, my sister Dom, Faith, and Fiona. We just got closer talking about grandma, like what's going on, her health and all of that. My grandma ended up having to get her leg removed because she has diabetes and they wasn't taking care of her in the hospital in Augusta. And my cousin Faith was traveling back and forth, stressed out, but taking care of her and keeping us in contact on what's going on. In 2020, a little bit later on, after, my grandma moved in with Faith in Idaho, my uncle, he passed away. He had a weight loss surgery and he died. My grandma's only son. And that is my cousin Fiona, that's her dad. So she's in a group chat. We just all been consoling her. We just got super duper close. Around that time, I found out I was pregnant with my last baby. I didn't have a baby shower. It was during COVID. Faith would send me stuff for my pregnancy, if I was ever sick, when I got COVID, just taking care of each other. We did that kind of stuff as a foursome, just getting closer and talking about memories, talking about things that happened with us in the time that we broke up, getting to know each other all over again. Of course, we started having our little separate conversations, our separate chats. Me and Faith were so close, so she was just so happy to have me back, just as I was so happy to have her back. Next thing you know, we was planning a trip to go to Vegas. We couldn't go to Vegas because COVID happened, right? 2020. Now it's mid-October 2020. Faith is stationed in Idaho. Fiona is going to visit her because Faith is getting ready to be stationed somewhere else, right? Her duty station is changing. Yeah, she's military, active duty. Fiona is like, hey, Precious, you should fly in and surprise Faith. I think it'll be a good surprise for both of you. Her husband is overseas. I think it'll be good for you guys to see each other. You'll see grandma, all of that. So, because by this time, grandma is living with Faith in Idaho. I fly in with my 1-year-old toddler. I'm pregnant with my last baby. Faith got out of the car, super happy, surprised. We just hugged each other, cried, all of that good stuff. We were happy to see each other after so many years. We cooked together. I was able to hang out with my grandma. We went to a pumpkin patch. We wore matching pajamas. They got to meet my baby. Faith would come and bring me coffee every morning in bed. She laid up, she rubbed my belly. We just had conversation after conversation. We enjoyed each other's company and we just lived in the moment. My birthday is October 17th, hers the 18th. 29th. We've been sharing birthdays since we were kids. So from there, we planned on our husbands meeting and spending each birthday after that together, and of course after I had the baby. And from that trip, we were already planning our October 2021 birthday trip together. April 2021, we decided to take a random trip to Vegas. Faith's husband at the time was back from overseas, so we decided just to go ahead and take a trip. We wanted to make sure that our husbands were gonna vibe, and it was also Faith's husband's birthday. So it was me, my husband, Faith, her husband, and my cousin from Augusta. She came and her boyfriend, and we just had a great time. Our husbands vibed so well. Faith and I got even closer during that trip, and then the next trip was our birthdays. Myself, my husband, Faith, and her husband, we flew across the country to Puerto Rico. We bonded so well, and our husbands were just like, kind of like allowing us to just be. We sat by the beach. It was like we were kids again, but we were adults. Like there was some moments of silence where we just was just there in the moment. May of 2022, my cousin Fiona, she was stationed or like in training because she was military as well. She was stationed in Oklahoma, you know, that's super close to Texas. Like, so on the weekends, because she was just there all by herself, staying like with a roommate, she would come visit me, you know. She came, first time it was Thanksgiving. She came Thanksgiving of 2021. And we just like cooked out, we made food together. She met my husband and all of that stuff. May 26th of 2022, I was in the shower one day, and my cousin Faith popped up in the front of my shower door. And I was like, and my husband was like, somebody from work was coming, and it was her. And I was just like, oh my God, you know, you came to visit me. She was like, yeah. Because I'm looking at pictures of her holding the baby and all of that stuff. And then they made reservations for us to go out to dinner. This is us in matching pajamas that night. It was a little three-piece of us in matching pajamas, little Hawaiian matching pajamas. She came and stayed for 2 days with her and my cousin. We're both there. We even went upstairs like in the man cave, and we drank champagne all night, you know, just us. Like, and he kept the kids, and we just had like so much fun, like girl talk. We even played like a card game, one of them card games to get to know each other again, you know, like the conversation type cards. We did that upstairs, drinking champagne over and over and over all night long. She made like a charcuterie board. So I remember that, and she was like, oh, and he was acting all shy because my husband is like kind of shy. She was like, here, eat this. Like, she tried to feed it. Oh, you want to eat it? I was like, girl, you know, that back then, like, cause I'm looking at this picture of her trying to feed him a cracker, and he like got his hand up, like, get away. All right. And then his birthday came in July of 2022. He wanted to do like a club scene. We got a table, and we at a fancy club in Dallas, and my cousin came from Augusta. His friends here came, and she came, her and her husband, because she was married at the time, and we was all having fun. And that's when they got closer. Like, she was like, you so cool. I got a picture of them two together, you know, and he like behind her, like, you know, oh, let's take a little couples picture, kind of like that. Her husband in the background of the picture too. I'm looking at it right now, but I didn't think she liked him. She was still married. Her husband was there too, you know what I mean? But it wasn't weird or nothing like that. We even have another video. We did breakfast. We invited so many people over. It was like 5 couples was there, okay? I just seen that video. The next time we saw each other was September 2nd, 2022. It was like I stayed for.
That's my birthday. Look at that.
She just got promoted, I want to say, to Master Sergeant. She had a +1, and she invited me and didn't even invite her husband, which was so weird and so crazy. But what was super weird about that trip, I invited my sister maybe, you know, towards the end of the trip, and I felt that my cousin Faith was kind of like turned off that I invited her. Like, she wanted it just to be about me and her and them. But either way, it ended up being a good trip. We stayed up all night. We played that same card game with the 4 of us now, me, Dom, Faith, and Fiona. It was time for Fiona's birthday. So we planned a trip to go on a cruise. All 4 of us supposed to go, but my sister, how she is, like, if she don't feel like going, she ain't going, okay? She wasn't going. She was happy that I was, because we're closer in age, me, Faith, and Fiona. My cousin, Fiona, she wanted to have a baby so bad, and she thought she was pregnant on that cruise, right? And she was just like so sad when her period came on. And I kind of like spoke life into her that day, and I remember these words, and she reminded me that I told her this. I was like, when you happy for like one of her friends, they both thought they were pregnant, her friend actually was pregnant, she wasn't. I was like, you have to genuinely congratulate people and not be remorseful and stuff like that, because God knows a wicked heart. And you have to truly be celebrating her and not be jealous, you know? And she said she took that to heart. After we left, she ended up getting pregnant. We had so much fun. We spent so much time together. We sang a song together. And what's so crazy is that song played when I left my therapist's office today that we sang together as soon as I left my therapist's office today. So crazy. And it's like, I can't even, I hear the words to this song, and it's Truth Is by Fantasia. You remember when I went on that cruise? When I wore the green. Yep, March 27, 2023. Yep. Let me take a drink of my Celsius real quick. March 27, 2023. Yep. We did matching pajamas, leopard ones. I brought the pajamas that time, and we just had a blast. We still kept contact. We in a group chat. I was the mommy of the group chat. I would talk about pregnancy. I would talk about, and I'm saying this for a reason. I would just encourage her, like when she wasn't feeling good. Anytime she had questions, I would answer it. Like I was very hands-on with my cousin because I know how excited she was to be having a baby, right? And my cousin Faith saw all of this. My cousin Faith, she threw her baby shower. We went to Colorado.
After y'all done built all this stuff back up, y'all done been talking again for a couple years. She needs, like, at one point
they would text each other like, oh, how you doing? Her favorite song was Good Morning, Gorgeous. She would send it to me. She would send it to him. You know, just like random stuff. What up, P? Wait. She used to like, because she's military. So anytime she had like a delay in a flight, she would come. Like one time I met her at the airport and we went to Papa Do's, so just her and I, and we ate lunch. So she would come visit me like that.
Well, can I ask you questions?
Yes.
Do you think they ever met up on their own or got to know it?
Okay, we're gonna get there, baby girl. July 2nd, 2024. And it was like 7:38 in the morning. It was like that kind of hours. Like, and I took videos and she wanted to do some orders. She uses my heat press and everything. 6 o'clock in the morning. It was like before the kids woke up. Yes, we got pictures together. I'm kissing her on her cheek. All of that, right? And he drove her back and they took a picture together that day because that's the same picture that's on his photo when she calls. And I was like, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, oh, that's just, you know, sister. July, the first, okay, remind you, that's the last time they saw each other, okay? July 2nd, 2024. That was the last time, and he drove her home to the airport, okay? So that's just some background. That's us. That's how it always been. That was our dynamic and all of that. We just got super close. She came to visit plenty times. She ain't got no kids, so it was easy for her to come visit, all of that.
What would you have?
Real bad.
Faith wasn't being faithful now, was she?
Never gonna be what you have.
She ended up getting pregnant. Well, she was still pregnant when she got a divorce. She was pregnant and then she got a divorce. She was pregnant by a married man. No, she divorced him. I'm not gonna put him because I love him to death. But the main one was because he couldn't give her kids and she wanted kids so bad. So she got pregnant.
She was pregnant by her husband.
And it's so crazy. I want to just type in a word and it's gonna come up. Yep. She got pregnant and she was so happy and so excited about it. She's even sent us like onesies in the mail. She wanted to record my reaction, okay? She wanted to record my reaction, but she put auntie and uncle. She was 2 onesies, one for him and one for me. So I was just like, okay, you know, that's fine. She just extra. And she was like, oh, did you show him or whatever? And I'm like, oh yeah, look what she sent you, blah, 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 you know? You're gonna be an uncle. And it was just like, you know, like, oh, that's sweet, whatever. And I was like, girl, he don't care. Kind of, you know, just being like that, he don't care. But she, at some point
Uncle
during her
Daddy,
pregnancy, she told me like, I feel like you was there more for Fiona than for me. Like you were more excited for her pregnancy and me. And I was just like, no, I was just going through stuff like with my business. You know, this life is happening. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to be better. So I started like texting her privately and checking on her and stuff like that. But it probably stopped again. You know, just life started happening. It's like in a group chat, you was always checking on Fiona, how she doing, what's going on with her. And you wasn't doing it to me. So now I'm just like, you know, now thinking about it, like, damn, maybe she was really butthurt about it. You know what I mean? That she started messaging my man.
Yeah.
You know? So, I was just like, you know, I wasn't there for her like that, but I was going through my own things at that time, right? Whatever it was. And, yep, that's where it was. I want to see the dates on this because I'm just curious now. November 9th, 2024. She sent the hi auntie, hi uncle. So wow, November 9th. Then she sent us like roses before, right? She was like, I feel like, you know, you having a bad day or something like that because I wasn't talking one day like in the chat or something like that. But she sent 2 dozen. So she said 1 for me and 1 for my husband. I was like, oh, that's weird, but that's sweet or whatever. You say, yo, you know, he my boy, da 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 da, like that. And I was like, okay, but I put them both inside the same vase, whatever. He was like, oh, okay, laughed it off. Even when he seen the onesies, he was just like, oh, that's cool, blah, 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 blah. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm sleeping upstairs with the babies. I came downstairs to my bedroom to go to bed, and my husband, as always, his phone is playing ESPN, and it's crazy because I normally just lock it and just call it a night. But this night, something told me to look at his phone.
So, like, were you, like, feeling weird or something? Or, like, what made you kind of let this go?
So, okay, so it's weird because I've been feeling, like, off with him lately. I sometimes, you know how you have intuition, right? And it's just like something is off, something is strange about your partner, it's your spouse, you know? Things that he was doing, like watching, being extra sexual, or leaving the house a lot, you know? So those kind of things. It just made me want to look at it. Like, you want to go play dominoes a lot. Like, you want to go play dominoes again, you just went yesterday, or you went 3 days ago, and that's fine. Go have fun and play, but it was just becoming a lot. I could tell he's moving a little different. Okay, he's my husband. We've been together for 12 years. So I picked up his phone and I just went into the living room, and I sat right there on the living room floor and I started scrolling. The first thing I went through was Facebook, and of course I saw like stupid messages to girls that from like high school, where he's from, random stuff, you know, inappropriate for sure, you know, talking about how I don't appreciate him. And the girl even saying like, aren't you married? And he's like, so what does that matter? What does that have to do with anything? Just disrespectful stuff. So I went through his text messages. When I saw my cousin, it was her baby shower. I flew to Arizona where she lives, and it was April 19th was her shower. I looked through the messages, but I saw like her maternity pictures, and a lot of her maternity pictures was like braless and, you know, see-through dress. She's extra. She even sent these same pictures to my father, you know, like she does that. So she sent us all those pictures. We always, you know, in our group chat, we talk about family and stuff all the time. That's fine. We talk about our daily lives, whatever we're doing, we share like as sisters, you know, cousins, first cousins. So I went through, I saw the pictures, the maternity pictures. I was like, okay, why is she sending these to him? That's weird. That's fine, but she's extra. That's okay. But I saw like messages, they were like choppy, like big group messages, how you doing today, stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, they check on each other periodically. I just left that alone, right? So I went over to his photos, and just looking at photos, just scrolling through. As I'm scrolling through, I see a naked photo, her boobs, her breast, her belly, her pregnant belly, but it was a smaller pregnant belly, so it was the beginning of her pregnancy, and her vagina, full frontal picture. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, kind of look moist, like her body looks wet, like she just got out the shower. So I'm like, okay. The next following picture, it was 1 minute, maybe 1 minute, 3 seconds. One was 1 minute, and they were all like between 1 minute and 3 seconds, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Frontal, first, you know, front. I can see her hand. I can see she's clearly performing. So when I say performing, that's what I mean. Should I use another word for that? I don't know. You know, a safe word.
No, you can perform for him or whatever.
Okay, performing. That's because performing, I don't know if somebody thinks that she's dancing or something. I clicked on a video from the square, okay? I already knew who it was. I can tell by her hands. I can tell by her almond-shaped fingernail bed. She didn't have fake nails on or nothing. Her nails, I know her hands, I know her nails like they're mine. She's my first cousin. We grew up together, okay? Like wrinkly, like I know, like all of our hands are a little like wrinkly, like they look older than they are. My hands look like they veiny, you know? I know her hands, I know her skin tone, all of that. I clicked on the video, full on action video, like, and it was 3 of them, back to back. Like I couldn't even watch the videos all the way through because it was 3 minutes. I'm sure I stopped myself. The biggest tool that you ever want to see, it looked like it was a massage gun, okay? And I'm even say that because later on I brought that up to him and he's like, I had to laugh at it a little bit, which is sad, right? Like it looked damaging, you know, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm like, I know this ain't so. Like my heart just probably stopped beating at that moment, but it was just like numb, but I just couldn't stop scrolling, okay? So in addition to looking at the video, on her hand, I also saw her left ring finger, and she has a tattoo across her finger. So I just left the baby shower. I put his phone down. Well, first I just started taking pictures with my phone of his phone, like taking pictures. Like I didn't even click on the video to like play it, to like send it to myself or nothing. I was just taking pictures, like just pictures, taking pictures of the screenshot, taking pictures. Like I just had all of these pictures. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. So I went to my phone. I sat his phone down, and then I went to my phone, and I'm just like, oh my God, I need to zoom in on pictures from the baby shower. I'm like zooming in, and does she have this tattoo on her finger? I could see myself. I could see my hands wrapped around her silly photos with her butt in front of me, and I'm behind her, like, you know, behind, you know, like you just do family pictures, just in front of her display, and I zoom in and I see her tattoo on her finger. I saw the tattoo in my head of her sitting on the couch with me while we was at the Airbnb in Arizona. Like, I'm like, I knew she had a tattoo, but like, I'm just trying to make myself like believe that what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Just like, what?
You gotta know like 100%. No.
Yeah, you know, like 100%. And I'm like, even some of like the maternity pictures, like of her like daily updates that she sent us in our group chat, he had in his phone. March 27th, 2023. Yep, we did. He had in his phone. Like, why is she sending? And it's always been a thing like, I don't care who see my body. I don't care who see my. It was like that. Those wasn't even as shocking until I saw the freaking videos. I didn't notice the date on the video. It says November something 2025. I want to say November 28th to be exact, okay? Because look, now I have PTSD of those dates. So what's crazy is I didn't look at any other dates on anything. I was just taking pictures and taking photos. So it was like 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I reached out to grab his phone and his phone locked. Okay, so this is what happened. It locked. So I was like, oh shit. What am I gonna do? So I just got up because whatever I had in my phone at that point is what I had. You know, pictures of the frontal of everything. So I just went ahead, threw his phone in the bed, and I went and got in the shower. That's in our room as well. I'm in the shower and I'm like completely numb. And this may sound weird. I don't even remember if I washed my body, okay? Or I could have been washing my body, but it was just like, I didn't cry or anything. It was just like, what the hell? Like out of body experience. Like I could see myself right now standing in the shower. When I got out of the shower, I had a towel on and he was standing at the room door. And he's like, Precious, what's going on? Talk to me. Like, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. He probably noticed that I had his phone. He was like, I'm like, get away from me. Maybe I shouldn't say his name. Get away from me. Don't, you know, whatever. He was like, what happened? What's going on? Like, clearly he know, you know, I saw his phone. I could tell that he knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking like, talk to me. Yeah. And I'm like, please get out of my face. And something so weird. Every time she comes, every time we hang out, we always wear matching pajamas. If she brings it or I bring it, you know, she started a whole matching pajama thing. I put on a pair of the matching pajamas, a red little nightgown that we matched and wore together. And something so strange, I went ahead and started making a shirt for my baby for school because he wanted this Alvin and the Chipmunk shirt, right? I went straight to my printer and got the transfer and I pressed him a shirt in that same nightgown, and I recorded content that morning, like a day in my life, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up doing this, blah, blah, blah. Like I was just up, just doing stuff. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? What was over me.
You didn't know how to react.
I didn't know how to react, right? And when I finally got done, and it probably had to be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I went back upstairs and I laid on the floor with my babies and I just cried and cried and cried and I prayed and I cried and I cried and I cried. At one point he came upstairs, so he was still awake. You know, I don't know what he saw when he unlocked his phone. I don't know what I was looking at last, you know? And he was standing over me and I kind of like startled, like, what, Precious, please talk to me. I was like, please get away from me, get out my face. He ended up leaving out the room, but he was leaving so easy, like so guilty, you know? Like normally he'll be like trying, but he didn't. I went to sleep that night. I don't know if it was 5 in the morning. Hold on. Yes, baby. Where was I?
Basically that you was going through the motions of doing stuff.
Okay, yeah. And that night, bro, I had every dream, and it was dreams of me being at her house, like around the baby shower, me knowing in the dream what she did, and it was like crazy stuff that I was doing, you know, like what I would have done if I would have knew a day before going on that trip. So it's just like, whew, it was some crazy stuff, but it was so real. And I woke up like, it was time to take my kindergartner to school. I took him to school. He wasn't saying anything to me, just, you know, my husband was just staying away from me, you know, not getting in my way. He sat on the couch and I sat right here in this chair. If you go to my TikTok, you can see this day. I'm wearing a red nightgown, and I don't know why I put it on now, and I've thrown away every nightgown or every matching pajamas we had since, of course, probably that same day. But I don't know. I don't know if it was a symbol. I don't know. So
like some subconscious stuff, like the fact that you just was like going through all this stuff, like.
Yeah, I got my baby ready for school. We was just like even joking around. I had on that same sweatshirt because I mean, if you go back, you'll see it. He was just sitting on the couch, just like far away, like behind me. I just felt him, like his presence behind me, and took him to school. I knew I had to take my 15-year-old to school also. And so I just planned, and she was already texting me the night before. Like, she was texting me weird. Like, she would always ask me, like, you okay? Everything okay? I haven't heard from you. Like, so other things that, like, dawned in my head that made me even want to check his messages from her, okay? So now I feel like I want to go into her before I go to talking to her on the phone that day, okay? So I brought my MacBook with me because I'm like, if she confesses this, I need this for court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to record this conversation on my phone. You know what I mean? I'm going to need this because at this point I know I'm going through a divorce. You know, like, this isn't happening. This is disgusting. This is my first cousin. This is my blood. This is my sister. Like, there's no way. Like, I need to document it. If she admits this, I need to document it, period. That was the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, for court, I'm gonna need it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just go of word of mouth. She did this, and you know, something gets deleted. It was that. That was my mindset. I need proof. Proof. That's what it was for. So I went and took my son to school, and right outside of his school, I went to probably within the same parking lot. There's a apartment complex, and I just backed in, and I just picked up my phone and I recorded. Okay.
Oh, so this whole time, like, when all this happened going on, you never questioned him or said anything to him?
I didn't say anything to him, a word at all. Nope. I wanted to talk to her first. Is that weird? I wanted to talk to her first. Yeah.
Everybody probably thinks you're funny.
Yeah.
Everybody
I had to. And the kids was home. You know, it was morning. It was a school morning. Whatever May 8th was, whatever weekday that was. So,
I mean,
talk
real
to
mature, honestly. Like, it was actually real mature of you to handle it that way. Like, put your priorities first.
Yeah.
You know, X, Y, Z.
Right.
See all that in the phone, and the phone to put down, but you still didn't get to see everything that you probably wanted to see.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're deleting shit.
Yeah, remember you said that, okay? She was already texting me, like, you know, about an order, because even that, I've put this girl in my business, like my printing business. I taught her how to use Canva. I taught her graphic design. I showed her and guided her through creating an LLC. I helped her start her own t-shirt business with my business. We talked about her moving, oh God, this is so embarrassing. Her being part of my printing business when I opened up an actual storefront. She's like, oh, and I can have this on the side, and I like to do event planning. And she was like, I already told all my friends and everything that I want to retire
Cousin, sister, wife.
My city, Texas. Like, all of that stuff. And I thought of, like, you know, kind of endearing, cute, because she's like my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, oh, that's so sweet because she don't have nobody. She just got a divorce. Or like, I'll do that. Like, you my girl. We've been best friends since we were little tiny kids. But we've always been close, period, since we were kids. Even slept in the same beds. We had birthday cakes. Her name was on my birthday cake. You know, I lived in the hood. I grew up in the projects. But her and Fiona, they lived with my grandma. Both of their parents wasn't there for them. So my grandma took them in, kind of like that. But they enjoyed being with us because there were so many of us. Even though we were in the projects, we got to sleep together. We got to play school, play pregnant, play Barbies, draw, go play outside and run up and down trees, play hide and seek with the neighborhood kids. You know, like, we were the fun house. But we also loved going to their house because this is crazy. They got to wear tampons. You know, like, oh my God, we get to wear, like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? My grandma, they have church dresses. My grandma got us pantyhose. And now I think about it now, like, I remember we used to get abused like bad. And my grandma would let us come for a night or for the weekend, but she would send us back. You know what I'm saying? That she knew this shit. And now it's just like hindsight is 2020. Like, did she even care about us? You know what I'm saying? And like, did we ever explain it to like our cousins? No, we talked to my grandma about it, you know? Like, and now to this day, my grandma like, I wanted to help y'all and stuff. I just couldn't. Like, your mom would let me, like, it's just, if you wanted to help, you could have, you know? But family, that's how family is, right? And and we was excited to go just walk around the neighborhood because they was grown. They got to walk around the neighborhood. Even when we got older, like boys, and like they just got to live different from us, you know. But still, my mother still made them feel like her own, you know, because those are her nieces, and celebrated birthdays, and both of our names were on the cake. If not everybody in October name was on the birthday cake, but it was always special because our birthdays were at the end of October. Like, I have a brother, his birthday October 14th, my sister's October 13th, you know, my other sister's October 5th, but we were 17th and 18th, and I already knew that me and her, our birthday was gonna be together. You know, it was a thing. We loved each other. At church, we sat together. Like, on the church van, we sat in the back together, like crazy. But even my grandma's like, they used to get $1 to put inside the basket at church, and we used to get quarters. Weird, right? But anyways, but I was excited for my grandma to do my hair like them. Like, she braided my first time. I got a relaxer because they had one. Just all kind of stuff. Like, it was that kind of relationship. But it was like, my cousin ain't never made me feel no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, she loved it. We doing this together. We used to go get Lisa Frank, you know, like super close. Like, I don't believe I never even told you about her before. But we got estranged. And you know me, when I don't fuck with nobody, I don't fuck with them. So, we just got, you know, back together. And I'm like, family, that's what it's supposed to be about. And we thought, because my mother always said, like, don't trust nobody. Your family ain't shit. All right, I need a breather.
All right.
Yeah. All right, ask me something. Take me back.
Take it back.
So, in the car, I pulled over because she was asking me about an order. Like I said, she made the onesies because I started her in the business and she knew how to make shirts. She has a heat press and all of that stuff. She was already hitting me up like the night before, the day before. Like I kept saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so busy. I'm going to call you back. But I still didn't know yet because 1 o'clock in the morning hasn't hit. That was like probably May 7th, May 6th. You know what I'm saying? 1 o'clock in the morning, May 8th hasn't hit yet. So I knew I was going to call her back. I took my laptop with me. I went to that parking lot. I called her. The first thing she said, I was like, hello. She was like, oh, I don't feel good today, whatever. Hey, you okay? Like, and I just seen she was just different immediately. I'm like, how did I miss this? How did I not notice, you know? And I said, hey, Faith, I want to ask you something. She was like, yeah, what's up? Do you have a tattoo on your left ring finger? And she was like, huh, what? Do you have a tattoo on your left ring finger? And she was like, yeah. I said, let me see your hand. And she was like, what? Let me see your hand. And she was like, kind of like put her hand up and stuff. I said, I went through my husband's phone. Why are you in my husband's phone? Okay. And I'm not going to say the whole conversation because it was so long. I feel like in that conversation, the only thing I saw, remember at that point, was just the pictures. I didn't even look at the dates, you know, besides the November 28th dates of the performing one. Like I didn't look at the dates of the previous pictures or nothing like that at this time because it was just like hours. It's only been hours, you know? And she was like, she admitted it after some time. She was like, I was mad at you. I really feel like you wasn't there for me with the whole thing. And I was going through a lot. I was having a bad time. I said, so how did it come to a point where you could send videos of yourself to my husband? How? He had in his phone. Like, why is she sending? So how did it come to a point where you could send videos of yourself to my husband? How? Tell me. Like, I want you to tell me. And by this time I'm in tears and looking like how I looked in that video. And she was like, well, he asked me what I was doing. And I said, and what were you doing? And she was like, playing stuff. And I was like, he asked you what you were doing and you said you were playing, and I said, so what made you show? He's like, let me see. He said, let me see. And you sent him videos. You sent him videos 3 minutes long, beginning to end. And that's what I said to her. She was like, yes. And she said, Precious, I immediately felt bad. But she was like, I just don't understand why he would keep it, you know, like that. And then my head is kind of twisted. But I was thinking like in my head, like, when I saw it, of course, I was thinking like, why the fuck would you keep this? Of course, you're going to keep it so you can revisit it to wax to it or whatever the hell you're going to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why else would you keep it? If it's like, why do you still have it in your phone? That's a level of disrespect. So I started thinking about when I bust in the bathroom and he looking at it and stuff like that. Maybe he was looking at that the whole time, you know? Like, I don't even know. I don't know what to think. So I'm talking to her for a good 20 minutes. I was like, why me? Like, you even said, like, I want y'all to come visit, like, after having a baby. Like, I'm going to need help because it's just me by myself and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, you're disgusting. Like, why would you do this to me? Why want your life? And now I'm seeing everybody message like soul ties and she wanted your life and she wanted this. Like, this girl really did. Do you know I graduated in 06? She wore my same prom dress, the one that I had on my body, when she graduated in 2009. Do you know the same hairstyle I wore? And we wore humpadoras, then them humps. You remember that? In my prom, she wore the same hairstyle at her prom with the same dress. Like, and then back then it was cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could show pictures of both. You know, like she just wanted to wear my dress. She wanted to be just like her cousin, but it was years later. It couldn't even be in style no more. You understand? But it still was, for back then it was cute. It's just flattering. Flattering. That's the word. Flattering. You know? Old clothes. She just used to dress like crazy. We went to the same high school. But she was a cheerleader. She got to do all that stuff. We couldn't do that shit because I was poor. I was working after school because I had to pay bills at home. You know what I mean? So just all this stuff. Like, I didn't believe that people really wanted to be you. And it's so strange, right? Okay, so I'm probably getting off track again. But I just want to just like say some stuff. When I went to the baby shower and I took videos, you know, I do day in the lives. I did a day in the life. I was doing my hair. She came up behind me in the camera and like touched my stomach. Like, and now I'm not even pregnant. She did that. We take so many pictures. Like, I was rubbing her feet. She was like asking me my matcha recipe. She was bringing me coffee every day. Like, even a point where I felt like so overwhelmed. She gave us all an announcement because my auntie was there from like New York, and you know, everybody's so extra. Everybody got opinions. Pregnant by a married man. That's, you know, that was girl code type shit. So they, you know, none of my business. I ain't never saying nothing to nobody. Everybody knew, but it just wasn't a thing. But she said something like, I want this weekend to be about me. I don't want no comments, no this, that, and the other. This person talking to that person. Just like to all the ladies, all the family ladies that was there. And I was like, I understand that, you know. And I was anxious. I didn't want to go leave my babies. I'd never leave the house unless it's for her, weird, or for my sister or something like that. I stay home. Everybody know to come visit me to my house. So that makes sense why, you know, every time she visits, she's always at my house because I have my kids here. It's comfortable. They have their space. They have their room. It's easier that way. You come in and out and you go. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there asking, I'm like, why me? And I'm just like, I feel like I'm talking to the other woman, but the other woman is my sister. The other woman is my blood. And it's just like, it was like I was taking care of her through that conversation, like, you know, like trying to understand her. And she was like, there's something wrong with me. Like, I don't know what, but she didn't cry. And I was like, you're not remorseful. What's wrong with you? Like, you're not crying. And I was just like, oh, saying her name in my baby's voices. Like she was like, what are you doing? I was like, saying, oh, the babies. I was like, yes, like the babies, like they know you as auntie. This, like, what? Like, why? I'm getting chills. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what happened? I thought you loved me. Like, what? And I said, you even said that you wanted us to visit. You was probably gonna need him to help put together. Like, and I said, we was gonna come together. You said Fiona's husband was gonna come and spend time with you. Like, without Fiona during that time, I said, do you do this with him too? And she was like, no. Like, disgusted, no. And I'm like, so why me? Why my ex-husband? Like, and you attracted to him? Like, you know, and then I hear what everybody else say, like, and this is off track, like, you too good for him, you the prize, like, I can't believe you with him. Everybody have said that, like, but it wasn't even about that. Like, I did say that was her admitting, I'm disgusting, but that was it. I'm like, have you ever seen his before? And she was like, no, like, what? Whatever, you know, and I was like, that was just, your baby shower was 2 weeks ago. That was April 19th. I was just there. Like, how did this happen? It's May 8th. Like, I was just there. Like, how could you do this to me? Like, are you serious? I came home from that shower. I laid up on his stomach and I was just telling him all about it. And I was like, you don't want to hear about it. Just like, oh, okay. And this happened. And guess what? When I was there at the baby shower, we had the same bag, the same exact Louis bag. And I'm like, sure. But I was crazy. I said, did you know I had this bag?
He bought them both.
She was like,
Louis
no,
bags.
my daddy bought it for me. You know, that's so crazy. I was like, dang, we that connected that we even got the same bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh gosh, all of that, like crazy. Lasagna, my auntie, she makes the bombest lasagna. I knew this since a kid. So she made 2 trays of lasagna because she's pregnant, you know, making it for her, making sure she's good. She made lasagna and I was like, oh my God, don't forget to put some aside for my husband, you know, whatever. She's like, you know, that's our husband or something. And I looked at her that day and I was like, girl, stop, something like that. And she was like, you know, I was like, yeah, girl, stop, you know, because, you know, and that was another reason what made me look at his phone and look for her. You get what I'm saying? Like, just all the things. Now when I look back, you know what I mean? Before I went on that trip, I didn't want to go on that trip. I want to say this also. A week before, because I said that on the phone with her, I was like, a week before I came to Arizona, he went to Arizona. He went for, one of his friends had a convention, right? And he was going out to help his friend. And how about that? And it was like a pool party or whatever. And he was helping with his tents and all of that. And I knew he was going to Arizona, but it was a different part of Arizona, like hours from her. And I was like, you ain't gonna go visit Faith? You know, like that's your girl. Like you ain't gonna go visit her. He was like, what I need to visit her for? Like said that, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. So he ain't gonna visit her. But while he was there, while sending us a picture, guess who stopped by? And it was her, it was him, and it was her dude that she pregnant by. So they all went to lunch together. I'm like, oh, finally, at least you went and seen her. She's like, yeah, he trying to, him and them, the 2 dudes, my husband and her dude, you know, that she's pregnant by, they getting close over his sneakers. He loves sneakers, you know what I'm saying? So they talking about shoes and stuff, and I'm just the third wheel drinking my water, and they drinking because I'm pregnant, right? That's why she 8.5 months pregnant now. So I'm just like, oh, that's cool that y'all saw each other. But when he came home, he had a t-shirt like from her business with her business name on it. We went to a restaurant. I took a picture of him in the shirt, put in the group chat, like, look what shirt. She's like, okay, I see you with that shirt on. You know, my homie, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at your boy with your shirt on type stuff. You know what I mean? Crazy. And I even said it that day. I was like, that's your little girlfriend. You got her shirt on. He's like, I'll bet, like, any shirt. I'm just like, you ironed the shirt. You never ironed. Like, weird. Like, all the stuff that's just coming up. All right, so where am I? To ask me a question.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. Okay. So
It's a lot, right? I know.
So was that like, was there any time, now that you know what's going on, like, is there any time, do you feel that they may have been actually physically intimate?
I got off the phone with her, and I was just like, I can't talk to you no more. I'm done. Like, I don't get it. You're disgusting. Don't ever talk to me again. You don't deserve me. Nothing like that. And she was just like, Precious, I promise you this is all that happened. I'm so sorry. I've never seen him before. I never seen his body parts or anything like that. Never, right? But I know how his insecurities and stuff too, so I kind of like believed it. And the only thing that I saw was the messages in November, and that's all I knew. And she was like, but I can send you screenshots when he said, like, what are you doing? And I said, that's what I'm doing. And I was like, why would you show him that's what you're doing?
Why
like,
would that be your
right, why would that be your response? And why did you feel comfortable to do it? And she was like, immediately I felt bad after. I said, but
it wouldn't matter. Like, I could, no, ain't no amount of drinking if you didn't already, like, cross those boundaries.
And there wasn't no drinking because she was pregnant. There's no amount of being depressed. There's no amount of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Even what you're doing because he's maybe texting you because he needs to talk. Let's just say, even if it wasn't it, like, pissed him off that night, whatever. Like, why, right?
How was that your, no.
Why? Okay, but guess what? I went back to our group chat in our Grandma's Girls chat back to November 29th. And she sent us a video, a picture of her stomach standing in front of the mirror, smiling, all joyed out, saying, feeling good, me and my baby. Okay? All right. Okay. So, because yeah, I'm like that. I went all the way back and I got on the phone with her. I just hung up and that's it. When I got home, he was upstairs working on his computer, you know, for work. I still ain't say nothing to him. I sat on the couch just taking everything in. And then I started looking at the dates. I saw that the date of her body was, hold on, let me go to my photos. Just the dates, it was just prior to. And I'm just like, how did I miss this? Because I didn't think, you know what I'm saying? I was just like going on all of autopilot. Yes. Yeah. November 10th, 2024, she sent a frontal of just the front of her bottom half, okay? December 2nd, 2024, it was a finger in front of it. Another one, December 2nd, 2024, busted wide open. November 26th, 2024, her front part, boobs, belly showing, okay? All right? All these dates is popping up now. I said, send me the screenshot of him saying, let me see. And she never responded. That's the last time I talked to her was that day. I've sent her so many messages like, are you serious? You're disgusting. All kind of stuff, of course. Like, I can't believe the least you could do is just talk to me and just be real with me and all that kind of stuff. She just stopped responding, so it was pointless, right? So that's when all the dates started, and I'm fuming. So how did it come to a point where you could send, I'm just like, they've been doing this. And now she's not responding. Now I have nobody else to talk to besides him. His phone has everything in it. I don't want him to delete anything out of his phone. That night he stayed, you know, I still didn't say anything. The next morning, which was, he had to go to work that morning. I can't even think, maybe it had to be like a Friday or something. He had to go to work. I got out the shower and he was just laying there all nonchalant, like, oh, you mad, Precious? I know you went through my phone, blah, blah, blah. But because the videos of her performing didn't have her face in it, I guess he didn't know that I knew it was her. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what I found in your phone. Yeah, I know what you saw on my phone, but I think maybe the last thing I was on was Facebook, like from the girls from back in the day. And I was like, yeah, you know, I know what you got on your phone. I said, my effing family, this man jumped out of the bed as fast as he could in whatever drawers he slept in, threw on some slides. I don't know, maybe he didn't have any shoes and ran out the door. Ran and jumped into the car and left. He didn't go to work that day, okay? Like, gone. He was going maybe 48 hours. He just kept saying, I need to talk to you, blah, 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 and whatever. I'm coming home, I'm bringing the kids pizza. I just want to have a regular conversation. By this time, I'm like calm. I know what I saw. I just know things are on. Got pizza, brought it to the kids, and we sat out in the garage, and we were just talking. I stayed far away from him, and I recorded this too, of course. He started telling me every type of secret from childhood up about me, okay? That only one person could have told him.
Wait. About you?
About me. That she told him things random. If a man stopped me in the grocery store, like, she told him every single girl code shit you would ever think of. You hear me? Everything. Okay? So he was like, so did this happen? Did this happen? Did it, like, on me like that? I'm like, wait, what? And then I'm just like, it's it, that's it, it's settled, it's it. I'm like, you seen her while you was there. You seen her there, right? Like, but still, I ain't get it that, okay, whatever, fast forward. The next day, you know, we just stopped talking about it. It was just pointless. I was just like stunned because I'm like, that's how they got close. That's how they got close, because she brought him in, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nasty.
she was feeding him all type of stuff about you.
About me.
That, oh, she should.
Right, and he said something like secrets. Oh,
yeah.
she got secrets too. Nasty work. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, a man gonna be a man. You open your legs and let him, he gon', you know what I'm saying? Like, a man gonna be a man, but you, my sister, my girl, like, I couldn't imagine you ever doing that to me. I couldn't imagine my sister doing that to me. You know, like, what? Like, she would never, I could leave her in the room probably with a month with him, and no matter what, like, she would never. That's what happened when you blow somebody up, right? But anyway, she wanted my life. She wanted to be me so bad that she had to do this. Like, why? You know, I would never get the answers. All right, so the next morning, of course he slept upstairs or whatever. I went up there, the kids were still asleep, you know, super early in the morning. Like, at one point, he like jumped out his skin, like in the middle of the night. I went up there and, you know, like just turned the TVs off and stuff like that. And I was like, what you jumping for? I thought you was going to hit me. Like, what the, I'm gonna hit you in your sleep? Like, come on now, like, seriously? You know, I'm just making sure things, I'm checking on myself, you know, I can't sleep, I'm still up, and he in my house.
You should have died of a mad black woman here.
Literally, yeah, probably. So the next day I was just like, you know, he's like, can we just talk? I was like, yep, but if we're gonna talk and work it out, it was kind of like that. Like, I just need to see, I need to know the truth. I need to see that you deleted everything out your phone. Come on, you know. So I'm like, if you ever want to stand a chance at this right here, because I was like, I'm gonna call your homeboy wife, I'm gonna tell you like all kind of stuff, I'm going in, like, don't play with me. And he gave me the code. I snatched the phone and I ran out the house barefoot. I ran all the way to the freaking park. And when I tell you this man was chasing me, and he big ass and running nowhere, chasing me. And I finally made it to the park, and I just started going through his phone. I went to the call logs at this point. 30-minute conversations, 20-minute conversation, 14 minutes, screenshots like of her being active on social media. Like, where are you? Like, why you ain't answering the phone? Like a week before, like 3 days before, calls. Like, when I just sent him to the store to get some extra stuff for spaghetti, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, me and him, we don't talk for more than 5. How long you talk to your man on the phone when you talk to him? Answer me.
Yeah, I talked to not long, because I see
5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, get this back. You know what I'm saying?
Get to the point and go back.
And if you talking for 20, 30 minutes, it's some boot up. That's relationship type stuff. That's new relationship.
That is.
Okay, I went back on a call log. It went months and months and months till it couldn't go back months no more. Okay? All right. So I'm like, this is a joke. So at this point, I've remembered that I know her boyfriend, who she's pregnant by, her baby daddy. I found him on Instagram. I said, did this look familiar? He was like, wait, this is telling me who he was. I said, I know exactly who you are. When I talked to her, listen, when I said the video, she lied and said, oh, I accidentally sent that to him. I sent it to somebody else before her admitting it. So I'm like, so you never get it? Because she said she accidentally sent it. I've never seen this. He was like, hold up, wait, call me. And he messaged me first. He was like, wait, I thought that was her brother. That's your husband. I was like, yes. He said, I met him. I was like, yes, I know, because we even talked about it while I was there. And, you know, because even when I was there, listen, I was rude to him. I was even like, it's 9 o'clock. You better get home to your wife and kids. You know, like being rude, just standoffish, because that's my girl. That's my sister. Like, I'm watching him like a hawk, being rude to him. So we didn't even get to have a conversation. And she ain't stopped me from being rude because she didn't want us to have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, like, treated him bad because still, you a husband and I'm a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be, like, it's still off to me. Like, the fact that you leaving, you coming on your lunch break, you just was here for the whole baby shower. Like, I'm just like, on him, you know? He said, wait, that's your husband? I was like, yes. He said, that's her brother. He said, they were together the day before we met and went to that restaurant. He was at her house. I said, wait, what? They went to dinner this night, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, hell no. Yeah, hi, baby. Yes. Okay.
So he told you that he thought that was her brother.
That's her brother, right? So he is giving me all this information. Yes. And I'm like, wait, what? He said the first time he saw you and the only time he saw her was with you. And that's where he gave her the shirt. She gave him the shirt for her business and all of that was there. And he was like, oh, hell no, call me. And he called me on Instagram. And we talked and he was like, I can't believe this. This can't be true. He said, and I'm trying to call her now and now she's not answering the phone. And I'm like, you know, he said, I text her. I was like, wow, she ignoring me. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I said, don't say nothing to Fiona because Fiona is in on it too. Because at this point, I sent, at the same time all of this, I'm like, it's time for me to tell my sister. It's time for me to just say something in a group chat. She going silent. In a group chat, I said, looks like I'm the next up to get a divorce because she just got a divorce. My Fiona had got a divorce previously. I said, I guess who next up? My sister sent me up. She said, Precious. She started calling me immediately. I wasn't answering the phone because I was just going through everything. I just could not talk to my sister. And she was like, Precious answered me, and I'm like, she texted me something. She was just like, I wanted to read what she said. I'm just gonna read it. You know, my sister probably is my saving grace. Okay. Because
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Really, in real life.
There's no way you could go through that and not have anyone.
Girl, I'm telling you. She messaged me in the group chat with everybody. And it was so crazy. Fiona was being like weird. She said, no. I said, look familiar? I said, I should have listened to all of the warnings, because my sister was kept saying like, she was like, this girl want to be you and stuff like that. You know, both of them had said stuff, you know, like, you know, about her ways and shit, you know.
Fiona said it too?
Yeah, like little, yeah, they, you know, girls are nasty, period. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, now watch yours around her. And Fiona was like, that's one thing I ain't never worried about. Just like, okay, you playing in my face. I said, okay. I said, just like she wanted your husband to come help after the baby, right? LOL, okay. My sister said, I'm sick, call me sister. I said, and there goes my family. And then she was, and then Fiona like, man, we're better than this. That's legit upsetting. My sister like, call me, exclamation. Not, this shit is unacceptable, the biggest betrayal. And I was like, upsetting, because I'm listening to Fiona in this, because, you know, we all in the group chat at this point. I said, tried to stir, betrayed, bamboozled, disgusted after all I've done, and how many times I left my family behind, how I've opened up my heart and soul. And my husband, home wrecking hoe, acts again, you know, because she's pregnant by a married man. I said, to me, how? I said, and I was just there. Y'all lucky I didn't know before, because I said, because yes, I would have still come, basically. And I said, I'm on Easter, I'm cleaning, because on Easter Sunday, instead of having an Easter egg hunt or going to church with my kids, I stayed a day later to help her clean up and organize all of her gifts and everything. And the hot ass sun in this woman's shed, organizing stuff for her. You understand? Because I know what it's like when you're big and pregnant and can't do it. You understand what I'm saying? And I said all that, like, I can't believe that. Like, I'm getting chills now. It's just, it makes me want to cry. And then my sister like, please call me. And then my cousin Fiona like, I'm in awe, like, no words. Just take the time and do what needs to be done. Just be inside. And I said, don't sugarcoat shit with me. I know who she is to you. I feel like your responses would be way different had it been the other way around, or if it was you. She was like, oh, I'm seriously freaking out. I'm trying to remain calm in public. My tribe is breaking up for real. I'm effing hurt. But this is not about me and how I'm feeling. It's about you and your mental right now. I said, my mental, I won't even communicate. I said, we'll talk later, maybe. And my sister said, sad, you can't trust your own family or sister with something so sacred as your husband and family dynamic. You're a disgusting human being to want so much of her that you prey on her man. Damn, this is sick. And all of this therapy we talk, and y'all talk in this group, that should have been one of the topics on how do you say you love someone so much and that they're your person, because that's what she used to call me, her person, and that you can stab them in their back as they're holding you up in your dark times. You are sinister. That's what she said. And I said, thank you, because when I said God has me, I said he set up all these dates and all of these things up for a reason. I said, oh, and then on Thanksgiving, I was supposed to bring my husband back, LOL, because she was like, I think we should do something. I don't know if this was grandma's last year, because my grandma 86, 87 now. We should all do something together. And I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And like the baby shower, I was up making glasses. Like if you've seen, I post a video 2 o'clock in the morning, insomnia, but I was making the glasses for her baby shower. I carried those glasses on the airplane. Like I was yelling at one of the stewardess for stuffing my bag in the thing because they had the glasses for her baby shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, she's just a liar. And then my cousin said, apparently she left the chat, Precious. And then she was like, she's not in a good place. She's not answering my calls and messages no more. She's pregnant. The baby didn't ask to be here. Start saying stuff like that. She told me that he never had Precious, all that stuff like that. And I was just like, okay. I said, that's okay. I'm going to tell her husband. I'm going to tell her boy, her baby daddy and all that shit. I don't know what you're telling him for. That's just her baby daddy. Just like all this. And then after she left the chat, my cousin started saying, it's a lot for me to process. I'm sorry if I'm not there for you right now. It's disgusting. There's no way that this shouldn't happen. And the next thing you know, May 11th, it was Mother's Day. And she told us Happy Mother's Day. I haven't heard from my cousin since then either, Fiona. She hasn't checked on me not once, hasn't said anything or anything, okay? When I was there for her whole baby shower, I flew down there for a baby shower, helped decorate. And my cousin, Faith, was jealous that I was there for her so much for her baby and her being pregnant and not for her. I'm just like, they've been doing this. And now she's not responding. I end up getting all of the information that I need, the call logs and everything, saving and copied into my phone. I came home. He was out in the garage. I just like, I got your phone, it died. I saved to the phone, died. So it could have been like an hour, maybe 2. I called his mother. She was like, I got yours back. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry. I'm disgusted and stuff like that. And then I was just like, I can't believe you didn't. I said, but at the end of the day, you always got your son back. And we just like, Precious, no, 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 no. I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like I hung up in her face, basically. Right? I was just done. He got his phone back and he was still trying to get my phone because he wanted to take whatever I had out of my phone. I did not let him get my phone. He was going, stayed out of hotels, what his mother said, all of that. Going, texting me, telling him he's sorry and he want to talk to me, this, that, and the other. I didn't file for divorce yet. I was just like processing everything, if I'm honest. We would stay up and have.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
Like, and then he started coming back to the house, but we never slept in the same room. He would sleep upstairs in the baby's room or in the man cave or on the couch. Every time he left as much as possible. He was going to the office instead of staying at the house, you know, and then he would come home at night, you know. And anytime we talked, we always talked while the kids were asleep. Like, we'll go up to the baby's room because, of course, they'd be in my bed by then. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm on one bed, he on the other twin size bed, and we just like talking. Like, he just letting it all out, telling me that he didn't have sex with her. He couldn't, you know, even though he was there because, you know, she's big and pregnant, her nose spread, like all of that stuff. I want to believe that, you know, and if he did, he did. I feel like you might as well had, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't, you know, you should have. Your loss sucks, you know what I'm saying? But she wanted to give him a tour of her house. But I remember when her apartment, because she moved out of her big house and moved to an apartment when she got pregnant after she got her divorce, whatever. But I remember her showing me, you know, like we do. I said, take me to the front door. He walked me all the way through. I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to see the closet. Showing me the baby stuff. That's what she did. Show him the baby stuff. Show him the stuff for the baby shower that was getting ready to happen a week later when I was coming. All of that. She weird like that. He convinced me to go to a couples therapy with him. Like, finally I'll go to therapy, this, that, and the other, whatever. He's never been in therapy. I've been telling him our whole marriage that I need to go to therapy. He booked him a therapist. I already was in EMDR, whatever it's called, the trauma therapy. Probably a week before. I went one session before this happened. The day after it happened, it's so crazy. I had a therapy appointment and my therapist had to go to court, and she called me and I was like, oh man, you know, I'm gonna miss your appointment. So I just felt like it was something I had to deal with on my own. She had to go to court for like one of her clients. We went to therapy and, you know, the lady just, you know, like maybe a week ago now, 2 weeks ago now from today. And she was just like, met her, she was a real cool black lady, like so nice, and she was like, I'm down to earth, and she was like, what is it, what's going on? I explained, I don't know why I'm here. If you could help out like with co-parenting, that's probably the best. We're here for 2 different reasons. I explained what was going on, we explained, and then he was like, I feel like she's not gonna get over it because all of her family knows. My sister told everybody that knows both of us, basically, just out of anger, and then also to try to give me support. Everybody called me and stuff, and of course all of that ceased. Nobody has called me since, but that's fine. But she was just like, what do you want to know? It's the truth. I was like, yes, the truth. I just want to know the truth. And he was like, she's like, that's the only thing she said, at the end of the day, she told family's gonna know, but guess what? It's family business now. Because everybody knows both. She said, there's nothing wrong with the family knowing. It's family business because they know both of them. They know her and they know Precious. You know, they know Faith and they know Precious. You can't expect it not to be that way. And he was like, but I feel like that's gonna be hard to get her back, because I said, there's no getting me back. But she's like, here's your opportunity to tell her the truth. Ask him what you want to ask. I said, right now? She's like, yeah. I said, did you buy her any gifts? Because of course, what's ringing in my head still? What's ringing in my head?
The Louis Vuitton bag.
Louis Vuitton bag. What'd he say? He said, no, I didn't buy it, you know? I said, you never bought her anything, never get her anything. I know, like, you got to be doing something. It's just like adding up, you know what I'm saying? No, I never bought her anything. But I could know his body language. I know my husband. I know he was lying, okay? And I was like, okay, whatever. We talked, whatever. He ended up crying and sobbing. And we came to an understanding that he has a problem with conversation. He never communicated his whole relationship. Just in that 1 hour session, I've done all the talking. You probably can see that now. I'm a talker. I will feed conversation. Even when I was on a conversation on the phone with her, I kind of helped her like navigate through lying to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I did, because I'm just like this, like make it make sense. Like you're going through it. Like I'm just trying to fix it, you know, like, bro, like even with him, like I'm just trying. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just see him in there crying and just like looking all down, and I'm like, maybe he is telling me the truth, but I know in my heart that he ain't. So after therapy, maybe 2-3 days later, it's probably a week ago now. What did he do? I went to sleep upstairs with the kids, and he fell asleep on the couch because that's his new sleeping spot. Came downstairs, and what? His phone is open again, right? I pick up his phone. This time, I'm looking for what? I'm looking for gifts. I went straight to his Chase Bank. I went straight to Zelle. I found Zelle's going from August 2024 up until March 2. I know the dates. I'm not touching my phone to look at it. Started out 25 coffee, 50 coffee and breakfast, 50, 150, 200. There was a moment at the beginning of the year he got a bonus from his job, you know, his yearly bonus. $5,000 sent to me, $1,000 sent to her. $1,000 sent to her. I see his money to his homeboy, you know, that we all know. 3 payments back to back to back. There was a payment December of 2024. She sent him $100. I went both ways just to see. Maybe they sent money to each other. $150 for Christmas. That said Merry Christmas. This man sent it back. It said the nickname of what she calls her baby. Like, you keep it. Okay? My kids didn't get everything they wanted for Christmas. Okay? We've been struggling financially a lot. I told you my background in money, how we grew up on Section 8. We never had money. One thing Precious don't play about is money. I'm very sensitive about money. He always said, like, you never broke. Like, I ever thought you was broke, even through this. Oh, if you have $5,000 in your bank account and your savings, you think you broke. Yes, I'm like that. I want to at least have a month of bills saved. You know what I'm saying? Yes, but it's to a point I didn't have anything, you know? I saw that. I immediately took out my computer. It ended up being like, I did all of the math from August 2024 until March 20th, okay? I took a video, I took down all of the numbers, all the dates. That hit me the hardest, that almost a month after finding out that my husband was cheating on me with my first cousin, I filed for divorce that night, okay? He got up to use the bathroom and came into my room to use the bathroom. I was laying on the floor doing this, right? And he was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, it's like that? Is that what you're doing? Or something like that. Is that what we're doing? That's exactly what he said. I said, that's exactly what I'm doing. I said, money, you know how I feel about money. While gifts is what? His love language. That's his thing, gifting. I also saw Neiman Marcus, Ray-Bans, perfumes. I remember her saying when I was there, go check out my perfume collection, like playing in my face. Playing in my face. I straightened her hair and curled it. Maybe it took like 2 hours because we were just talking, hugging, crying. She told me she wanted me to be her baby's godparent. Me and him, like, consoling her in the balloon store. I just started seeing all of these things, like,
baby stepmama.
I didn't want to go on this trip, and I was like, I got to go. This is my girl. Why could I not? I could not do this. I wasn't here for her through her pregnancy. Like, the money cut deep. He sat on the floor across from me. He was like, I knew you was going to find out. I said, I just asked you. You had your opportunity to tell me the truth with somebody there. You kept saying, I wasn't going to talk to you. You wasn't going to open up to me until somebody was there. That's the only reason why I went to that therapist with him. Because you was going to tell me the truth. You're going to tell me the truth if somebody else is there because you don't know how I'm going to react, right? He sent her all of this money while we're struggling. I can remember a time, I can't tell you the last time I got a pedicure. I can't tell you the last time I got my nails done. You know I used to get my nails and feet done like clockwork. Right? Every 2 weeks.
All the time.
All the time. I haven't gotten my nails or feet done in maybe 9 months, okay? Especially like when the money started dwindling down. My income is only based off of my business and my social media. Like, that's just my job. Like, it ain't, you know, it's the beginning of it. Like, some months are good. If the economy started getting bad, I wasn't getting orders like I was, you know? And that's what a part of what I was, like, I feel like with all of that, I was just so... This happened under my nose because I was so busy and stressed out about my business, about social media, like not growing. And ain't that funny how things work and look at things now where I'm at? You can see what I'm saying? I was praying to the point. I was like so struggling like with finances because that $5,000 I had that was sitting was gone. Can we kind of rush to the 401k? I ended up getting all of the information that I need, the call logs and everything. Can we kind of rush to the 401k? He's got a new position at his job in between these months of August and, you know, whatever, between this last year where he had to go overseas. In order to go overseas, you need what?
A passport.
When you have back child support, you cannot get a passport, right? He got this job. He needed it. The more money we needed it. It makes sense to just pay it off. His daughters, he's gotten so close with his daughters. One of his daughters lived with us. I don't have a bad relationship with his daughters at all. We text. We have a great relationship. She even texted me since then. They've donated to my GoFundMe. I don't hate his daughters. His daughters are adults. The reason he has back child support was in his 20s. There was a year or two where he didn't have a job. He had both of these daughters. He was a kid that had kids. Stupid, dumb, to not alert the child support office that he didn't have a job or that he was unemployed, so it just piled up. If you do the math for the amount that he owed for that time, it was the bulk of it, those 2 years for 2 kids that he did not have a job. He was unemployed and his mommy or nobody didn't instruct him to call child support because they will lower it to an unemployment amount. And so this was the same child support that's been sitting here, and it's also stopping my husband from getting a passport that he needs.
I just quit my job. I have this 401k. I will do anything for him. And just like I know till this day, he would have done the same for me. You understand? He would have done the same for me. And that's why I did it. And money has always been near and dear to my heart because I've been poor. I lived without lights and water. I was in high school paying bills, working a job, giving it to my mother, and she was not paying bills. I was in high school having a job, and there was a month or 3 that we didn't have lights, and I was taking a bath in a bucket in cold water. Nobody knew. You understand? Money is very, very deep. It's more than paper like that to me. It's a livelihood. It's safety. It's security for my kids, okay? I haven't bought my kids clothes, nothing like trying to get food stamps, like crazy, okay? Meanwhile, this mother spending money on another woman, giving her money for an image because we ain't got it. We don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Heartbreaking. That caused me to file for divorce. But that's why. Do I need to explain any more about why I gave him my 401k? Because he makes over $1,000 a year, which I just learned as well because I haven't even been in his pockets like that. He makes a lot of money and he could afford to take care of us. And even after all of this, he's like, I'll pay every bill in the house. I'll do anything. Like, why am I even struggling? Why am I even paying bills? Why am I not only paying utilities? Like, why? And it's been that way for all these years we've been together. So that was the final straw. That's what made me file for divorce. And up until he just went on this trip 3 days ago, he asked me to get something out of the garage for him. And I found other stuff. Cinco de Mayo, 12 years ago, he had a heart attack. Maybe 13, whatever. But he never smoked cigarettes again, supposedly. I found cigarettes inside one of his hoodie pockets before. I think he came from playing dominoes. And now, like, somebody's like, yeah, he's smoking cigarettes because he's stressed out. He wasn't supposed to ever smoke cigarettes again. He's been disgusted the way it smells. And I told you, cigarettes has a distinctive smell. And I'm like, you've been smoking cigarettes? He's like, yeah, I've been smoking cigarettes. I won't even repeat it because it's embarrassing. And I won't even do him like that because I, for some odd reason, still care about him. And I still have kids with him. So, yes, I'm done. And that's it. I've been here for this man. He's been over 400 pounds. He got weight loss surgery twice. He has a pacemaker. He's had a heart attack. And even with his heart attack, like even till maybe finding out this, he would say, I caused him to have a heart attack from his stress and all of that stuff. But it was him doing his weight loss. I dreaded him up, like got him gold chains, like trying to make him fly and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I don't know this confidence you think I have, you know, and maybe it's me thinking that for him and stuff. Well, we know him from back in the day. So they're like you, they're like, you, him, like my cousin called it, like my sister, he would have prized, like nobody expected, like even some of his family members, like, who you with? Like, who she well here with? Like him, that's my husband. Like, nephew, him, like that. And I never let that be a thing. But I loved him for him. We got close together from our boys, both being single parents. My baby being 3, him being 4, and we've been inseparable since. We had like a year break, and that was in 2017. We got married, bought a house. We just been good, and I just thought, like, even a month ago, I probably said to him, like, we're gonna be together forever, and he agreed, you know. But it's like, what was your plan? This girl was talking about retiring here. Like, I thank God that I know now, because what was I gonna do? Find out when I was 60 and I helped her raise her baby, and I was gonna find them in the backyard or in my bed. She calling us uncle and auntie. Like, how sick, you know? Like, how sick. I can't. There's some things I just can't even compete with. And I don't know what else there is to say. I don't know.
Yeah, like, shit. I don't even know what to say. Like,
I don't know what to say either.
Can I ask you a question just for like us two?
Yeah, want me to stop recording?
Just the amount of like maturity, willpower, and strength that you have to just still function day to day and still even just be in the same household as him, because y'all, it's a broken family, but just a family, it's just, it takes a lot. And a lot of people, they got opinions on what happened and what they want to say, but they probably couldn't even handle it as mature as you're handling it right now. You know, to put everybody else still first before yourself.
It's God, I'm telling you.
Know that.
I thank you for saying that. I appreciate that, and that means the world to me. It's been so hard, but I'm telling you, I've been praying like I've never prayed before. I've tried journaling. Every time I journal, I cry. Maybe at 4 o'clock in the morning, I just try to
have my emotional time when my kids are asleep, because they can see me different. I can see how they look at me. My little baby checks on me like, mommy, after that, like, mommy, we can go to the park. Mommy, we can go to the jumping place. You want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, talking to me like I'm a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were in school, so that helped too, but now they're not, you know, and it's the summer and I can't even do much with my kids when I always had a cushion. You know what I'm saying? Like a chunk, like, you know what I'm saying? But the amount of support that I'm getting, like, I'm going to put my babies in swimming lessons and I'm going to get the best attorney possible to help me. You know what I mean? Like, period. Because they deserve that. But thank you for saying that, because I've gone through a lot in my life, and I've always tried my best to be genuine and kind to every friend that I've ever had. Because I never trusted anybody ever since I lost my sister in high school. Like, that made me so hard. Like, where I never had friends. Like, my whole senior year, I lost her my junior year. 2 days before my 16th birthday, I lost her in a car accident. She was 17. And that's how close we were. She was born in 87. I was born in 88. I lost my best friend, so I never trusted anybody. So when you said you met me that day and you wanted to talk and I looked like a bitch and everybody thought I was, yeah, I didn't want no friends. Never. Because I even knew, like, before I left school, like, it happened in October, I didn't go back to school until after, like, Christmas break. And I remember one of my sister's friends saying that people was writing stuff on the walls. What you gonna do now that your sister going? I don't know if you remember me saying that. Like, and I came back to school and the bathroom walls were painted. Like, it happened. I trusted no one. I've been through a lot of shit, and I've never trusted women. Mainly because I couldn't even trust my own mother. You know, I don't have a mom. I don't have, and people say, like, where your friends? I ain't got no mother friends. You know, like, I don't, because I don't trust them. And the few that I could count on less than one hand, take out my sisters, 2 sisters, my sister Shoshana and my sister Dom. Like, I don't even talk to my other siblings. You know what I mean? Like, because I can't trust them because of shit that they've done. But the amount of support that I got from strangers, like people that only did like orders with me, like, the first time you talked to me, Precious, you were the nicest person. I can't believe this is happening to you. And I think even when I shared that video, I didn't think about like my business. And I'm like, now my business is gonna suffer because now, like, I'm talking in like a different language. Like, companies ain't gonna want to work with me. It's just like, you know, like, there's a lot to it. I'm putting myself at risk here too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot, but it is what it is. I'm still leaving it to God, and life changes and twists and turns, you know, and whatever's for me is gonna be for me. Period. Period. I was praying to the point, I was like so struggling like with finances, because that $5,000 I had that was sitting was gone. Can we kind of rush to the 401k? He's got a new position at his job in between these months of August and, you know, whatever, between this last year, where he had to go overseas. In order to go overseas, you need what?
A passport.
When you have back child support, you cannot get a passport, right? He got this job. He needed it. The more money we needed it. It makes sense to just pay it off. His daughters, he's gotten so close with his daughters. One of his daughters lived with us. I don't have a bad relationship with his daughters at all. We text. We have a great relationship. She even texted me since then. They've donated to my GoFundMe. I don't hate his daughters. His daughters are adults. The reason he has back child support was in his 20s. There was a year or two where he didn't have a job. He had both of these daughters. He was a kid that had kids. Stupid, dumb, to not alert the child support office that he didn't have a job or that he was unemployed, so it just piled up. If you do the math for the amount that he owed for that time, it was the bulk of it, those 2 years for 2 kids that he did not have a job. He was unemployed, and his mommy or nobody didn't instruct him to call child support because they will lower it to an unemployment amount. And so this was the same child support that's been sitting here, and it's also stopping my husband from getting a passport that he needs. I just quit my job. I have this 401k. I will do anything for him. And just like I know till this day, he would have done the same for me. You understand? He would have done the same for me. And that's why I did it. And money has always been near and dear to my heart because I've been poor. I lived without lights and water. I was in high school paying bills, working a job, giving it to my mother, and she was not paying bills. I was in high school having a job, and there was a month or 3 that we didn't have lights, and I was taking a bath in a bucket in cold water. Nobody knew. You understand? Money is very, very deep. It's more than paper like that to me. It's a livelihood. It's safety. It's security for my kids, okay? I haven't bought my kids clothes, nothing, like trying to get food stamps, like crazy, okay? Meanwhile, this mother spending money on another woman, giving her money for an image because we ain't got it. We don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Heartbreaking. That caused me to file for divorce. But that's why, do I need to explain anymore about why I gave him my 401k? Because he makes over $1,000 a year, which I just learned as well, because I haven't even been in his pockets like that. He makes a lot of money and he could afford to take care of us. And even after all of this, he's like, I'll pay every bill in the house. I'll do anything. Like, why am I even struggling? Why am I even paying bills? Why am I not only paying utilities? Like, why? And it's been that way for all these years we've been together. I lived
So that was the final straw. That's when we filed for divorce. And up until he just went on this trip 3 days ago, he asked me to get something out of the garage for him. And I found other stuff. Cinco de Mayo, 12 years ago, he had a heart attack. Maybe 13, whatever. But he never smoked cigarettes again, supposedly. I found cigarettes inside one of his hoodie pockets before. I think he came from playing dominoes. And now, like, somebody's like, yeah, he's smoking cigarettes because he's stressed out. He wasn't supposed to ever smoke cigarettes again. He's been disgusted the way it smells. And I told you, cigarettes has a distinctive smell. And I'm like, you've been smoking cigarettes? He's like, yeah, I've been smoking cigarettes. I won't even repeat it because it's embarrassing. And I won't even do him like that because I, for some odd reason, still care about him. And I still have kids with him. So, yes, I'm done. And that's it. I've been here for this man. He's been over 400 pounds. He got weight loss surgery twice. He has a pacemaker. He's had a heart attack. And even with his heart attack, like even till maybe finding out this, he would say, I caused him to have a heart attack from his stress and all of that stuff. But it was him doing his weight loss. I dreaded him up, like got him gold chains, like trying to make him fly and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I don't know this confidence you think I have, you know, and maybe it's me
She
thinking
too
that
fine to be with a 400-pound
we know
dude.
him from back in the day. So they're like you, like you, him, like my cousin, like my sister, he would have prized, like nobody expected, like even some of his family members, like, who you with? Like, who she here with? Like him, that's my husband. Like nephew, him, like that. And I never let that be a thing. But I loved him for him. We got close together from our boys, both being single parents. My baby being 3, him being 4, and we've been inseparable since. We had like a year break, and that was in 2017. We got married, bought a house. We just been good, and I just thought, like, even a month ago, I probably said to him, like, we're gonna be together forever, and he agreed, you know. But it's like, what was your plan? This girl was talking about retiring here. Like, I thank God that I know now, because what was I gonna do? Find out when I was 60 and I helped her raise her baby, and I was gonna find them in the backyard or in my bed. She calling us uncle and auntie. Like, how sick, you know? Like, how sick. I can't. There's some things I just can't even compete with. And I don't know what else there is to say. I don't know.
Yeah, like, shit. I don't even know what to say. Like,
I don't know what to say either.
Can I ask you a question just for like us two?
Yeah, want me to stop recording?
Just the amount of like maturity, willpower, and strength that you have to just still function day to day and still even just be in the same household as him, because y'all, it's a broken family, but y'all family is just, it takes a lot. And a lot of people, they got opinions on what happened and what they want to say, but they probably couldn't even handle it as mature as you're handling it right now. To put everybody else still first before yourself.
It's God, I'm telling you.
Know that.
I thank you for saying that. I appreciate that, and that means the world to me. It's been so hard, but I'm telling you, I've been praying like I've never prayed before. I've tried journaling. Every time I journal, I cry. Maybe at 4 o'clock in the morning, I just try to have my emotional time when my kids are asleep, because they can see me different. I can see how they look at me. My little baby checks on me like, Mommy, after that, like, Mommy, we can go to the park. Mommy, we can go to the jumping place. You want to go to Chuck E. Cheese? Talking to me like I'm a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were in school, so that helped too, but now they're not, and it's the summer, and I can't even do much with my kids when I always had a cushion. You know what I'm saying? Like a chunk, like, you know what I'm saying? But the amount of support that I'm getting, like, I'm going to put my babies in swimming lessons, and I'm going to get the best attorney possible to help me. You know what I mean? Like, period. Because they deserve that. But thank you for saying that, because I've gone through a lot in my life, and I've always tried my best to be genuine and kind to every friend that I've ever had.
because I never trusted anybody ever since I lost my sister in high school. Like, that made me so hard. Like, where I never had friends, like my whole senior year. I lost her my junior year. 2 days before my 16th birthday, I lost her in a car accident. She was 17. And that's how close we were. She was born in 87. I was born in 88. I lost my best friend, so I never trusted anybody. So when you said you met me that day and you wanted to talk and I looked like a bitch and everybody thought I was, yeah, I didn't want no friends. Never. Because I even knew